Charles Rodgers is an American football quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Rodgers started his college football career at Butte College in 2002 before moving to the University of California, Berkeley, where he set a number of career passing records, including the lowest single season and career interception rates. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Aaron Rodgers, his career highlights, and all his amazing records. Rodgers was expected to be a first-round pick in the 2005 NFL Draft after putting up outstanding numbers as a junior at Cal, throwing for 2,320 yards at a 67.5 completion rate during the regular season. In his final season at college, he threw 24 touchdowns and only 8 interceptions, dazzling several NFL scouts. They called him a talented, strong-arm junior who combines arm strength, mechanics, and delivery to make all the throws. But they warned that his numbers could be inflated due to his playing in a quarterback-friendly system, and that he would need to adjust to the NFL's more complex defensive schemes. Rodgers was convinced before the selection that he would be selected by the San Francisco 49ers, the team he grew up with, rooting for, and who held the #1 overall choice. The 49ers, however, selected quarterback Alex Smith out of Utah, and Rodgers was taken down to the 24th overall pick by the Green Bay Packers. Rodgers had said that he felt a lot of tension and restlessness while waiting to be picked several hours into the draft, since he had expected to be chosen much sooner. Rodgers dropped to the 24th pick, and the Packers' decision to take Brett Favre's long-term replacement became one of the major stories of the draft, despite the fact that he was still the second quarterback chosen. His omission from the draft was eventually named the Top Draft Day Moment on the NFL Network's Top 10 Draft Day Moments list. Many clubs drafting between the 2nd and 23rd rounds had more pressing positional needs than a quarterback. Rodgers joins Trent Dilfer, Akili Smith, David Carr, Joey Harrington, and Kyle Bowler as one of the 6 quarterbacks coached by Jeff Tedford to be drafted in the first round of an NFL draft. Rodgers signed a reported 5-year, $7.7 million contract in August 2005, which contained $5.4 million in guaranteed money and could pay him as much as $24.5 million if all incentives and escalators were met. Rodgers was the Packers' backup quarterback behind Brett Favre during his rookie season. The Packers were 4-12 at the time, and he got his first extended look at replacing Favre in the first preseason game against the San Diego Chargers. Rodgers completed 2 of 7 passes in his first NFL game and was sacked twice. He struggled throughout the preseason before finishing with 2 third-down conversions and a touchdown pass to tight end Ben Steele against the Tennessee Titans. Rodgers had relatively little action in the regular season that year. He played against the New Orleans Saints in the fourth quarter of a 52-3 victory, and he completed his first career pass in that game. Rodgers entered the game against the Baltimore Ravens in the third quarter of a 48-3 loss on December 19, 2005. He threw an interception and completed 8 of 15 passes for 65 yards. Head coach Mike Sherman was sacked after the Packers' losing season, and Mike McCarthy was hired in his place. McCarthy then put Rodgers in his quarterback school for 6 hours a day, several times a week. Rodgers' motor skills, including hand-eye coordination, finger dexterity, and mechanics, were focused on. McCarthy also focused on Rodgers' release point, moving it from just beside his helmet's ear hole to further below it for a more smooth release. Rodgers started all 4 games of the 2006 preseason as the backup quarterback, completing 22 of 38 passes for 323 yards and 3 touchdowns. Rodgers got very little action during the 2006 season, although he did come in for a brief appearance on October 2nd against the Philadelphia Eagles after Favre was injured and had to leave the game. The same thing happened in 2007, as Rodgers didn't get much playing time. Rodgers didn't start playing frequently until the 2008 season. Rodgers took over as the Packers' starting quarterback for the 2008 season after Brett Favre announced his retirement on March 4, 2008. Despite Favre's decision to return from retirement, he was traded to the New York Jets, putting Rodgers in the starting lineup. Rodgers rapidly established himself as one of the finest quarterbacks in the NFL by passing for 4,038 yards, 28 touchdowns, and only 13 interceptions in his first season as a starter. This is still the most interceptions he has thrown in a season as of the 2021 season. The Packers defeated the Minnesota Vikings 24-19 at Lambeau Field, with Rodgers making his debut as a starter. This was the first time since 1992 that the Packers had a quarterback other than Favre start a regular season game. Rodgers threw for 178 yards and 2 touchdowns at the end of the game, 1 passing and 1 rushing. Rodgers was named the FedEx Air Award winner the following week after passing for 328 yards and 3 touchdowns in a win over the Detroit Lions in only his second NFL start. Rodgers' streak of 157 consecutive pass attempts without an interception came to an end in the 4th week of the season when he was intercepted by Derrick Brooks of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. After Bart Starr, 294, and Brett Favre, 293, it was the 3rd longest streak in franchise history, 163. Rodgers suffered a significant shoulder sprain in the game, but returned to start and perform well in a win 2 weeks later against the Seattle Seahawks, proving his toughness to many. Despite early success, Rodgers had been unable to win a close game during the season despite 7 opportunities to do so. Rodgers signed a 6-year, $65 million contract extension through the 2014 season on October 31, 2008. The Packers concluded with a 6-10 record and missed the playoffs in Rodgers' first full season with the team. He won the Super Bowl MVP award in 2010 after leading them to a victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl 45. In 2011, he was named Associated Press Athlete of the Year, and the Associated Press named him League MVP for the 2011, 2014, 2020, and 2021 NFL seasons. Rodgers joins Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Joe Montana, and Jim Brown as the 5th player to earn NFL MVP in consecutive seasons. Rodgers has led the NFL 6 times in touchdowns to interception ratio: 2011, 2012, 2014, 2018, 2020, and 2021. 6 times in lowest passing interception percentage: 2009, 2014, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. 4 times in passer rating: 2011, 2012, 2020, 2021, and 4 times in touchdown passing percentage: 2011, 2012, 2020, 2021. 3 times in total touchdowns: 2011, 2016, 2020. Twice in touchdown passes: 2016, 2020, and once in yards per attempt: 2011, and completion percentage: 2020. If you've made it this far in the video, we sincerely thank you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content we upload. While you're here, you should check out our video on Emmitt Smith highlights. With a regular season career passing rating of over 100, the first to ever have one, Rodgers is second on the NFL's all-time regular season passer rating list, while also having the highest passer rating, the best touchdown to interception ratio, and the lowest passing interception percentage in the entire 2010s decade. He ranks 2nd in touchdown passes, 4th in passing yards, and 6th in all-time passer rating in the postseason. During the regular season, he has the best touchdown to interception ratio, 4.83, the lowest career interception rate at 1.3%, and the highest single-season passer rating, 122.5 in NFL history. Many sportscasters and players see Rodgers as one of the finest and most talented quarterbacks of all time. Rodgers has also won the ESPY award for Best NFL Player 4 times. Where does Aaron Rodgers rank amongst the greatest quarterbacks of all time? Comment down below.